Hey guys, Tisha here, and we're back for another Sister Wives review. Before I say anything, I want to make sure that I don't forget to say that Kody is a douche and he's a trash father, and I hope that TLC after this season gets rid of him because the things that he said on tonight's episode, I don't, it's not forgivable if you ask me. So, here we are. Season 18, Episode 9, Battle Lines Are Drawn. Christine is at Garrison's house and she's preparing a meal for Garrison, Janelle, Gabe, Savannah, and Gwen. She says that one of the reasons why she's doing this is because she wants to create an environment where the older kids feel safe and they can talk about some of the things that they're feeling. We know at this point that Christine has been gone from Flagstaff for 6 months. And she speaks about how during the holidays, she noticed not only did Kody not come over, but he did not call the children. And as a result, she was paying attention to how sad some of the kids looked. As they're preparing the meal, because it's Savannah and Christine in the kitchen, Savannah lets Christine know that she sees Brianna, which is one of Robyn's children, every day at school, but they do not speak. She says that they ignore each other. I don't understand how it is that these young ladies who have been in each other's lives for over 10 years do not speak when they see each other. Brianna is then seen in confessional saying that both her and Savannah are cordial to each other because during COVID, people had different rules. And as a result, they didn't know what to do with each other. She then gets to the point where, to me, she's sounding exactly like her mother. And she says verbatim what her mother would say, which is she's so shocked and she's so confused because to her, it's like Savannah doesn't care, which is the same exact thing that Robyn said when she was referring to Christine and things that Christine had said to her. It broke Brianna's heart a little that Savannah is treating her like this. She even begins to cry. She says that, it hurts her because she grew up with them. I have no words really for this scene because at the end of the day, Brianna is a child. But I really do believe that a lot of this is because of Robyn. You cannot tell me that Robyn isn't in her kids' head when they do things like what Brianna is doing in the confessional. So basically, according to what Brianna said, because her parents disagreed with the way some of the other mothers decided to handle themselves during the COVID situation, Brianna is choosing to ice Savannah out. Sounds a lot to me like her mother and her father. Christine asks Savannah if this is just a recent thing, and Savannah lets us know that she's always had a hard time with the siblings that are around her age, which we know that the siblings that are around her age is Brianna and it's also Aurora. Aurora's a little bit older than them, but she kind of falls in that mid-range. She points out that it's especially Robyn's kids. Let that sink in. She said that she's never been close to Robyn's kids. She's mainly been close to Christine's. So my question is, whose fault is that? Because we are very well aware that Christine raised Janelle's children. And when Christine offered to help Robyn, she declined it. And she declined it more than once, to the point where it was okay for you to use it was okay for Robyn to use Christine's children to watch her kids, but it wasn't okay for her to use their mom. Savannah lets us know that she finally spent time with her father and truly was there. Christine felt a little bad about truly being there, but Savannah said it was okay. Christine let us know that before the time that he spent with Savannah and Truly, that Truly had not spent time with him since they moved. So how often has Kody seen his daughter? Savannah lets us know that she didn't mind sharing time, that it's to the point where not seeing her father or spending time with him, it doesn't even bother her the way that it used to, because she's used to him being absent. I'm with Christine here because Christine made a statement about how it's really hard to hear your child's heart being broken and seeing how bad it is. And for a child that at that point is still in high school to say that, that's heartbreaking. We then see Mary at the B&B with Jen, the one person who really does actually care about Mary. She's finally moving her clothing. The house that she had in Flagstaff, she lets us know that one of the reasons why she bought the home was because it had a lot of space, a good sized area for the family to meet up, but they never utilized her home, so she's gonna downsize. We see Jen and Sean, which is then Jen's husband, helping Mary. As I'm watching this, I'm thinking, so Kody and Robyn couldn't even offer to help her move. She has Jen and her husband helping her move. You would think that Kody would be willing to have her, to help her move, since he's in such a rush to have her go. And I don't feel like Kody does a lot of work, so he could have easily helped her move. Mary says it's new to her to have a man around doing projects for her. Even though Kody was married to this man, even though Kody was married to Mary for years, he wasn't helping her. And as I'm looking back at some of the older seasons, it seemed like a lot of the projects that the wives helped one another. So I'm not really surprised by this. She said that despite Kody not being with her currently, that she's still spiritually married to him. She talks about how one of the things that she loves about Jen is that she never received any judgment for her for being a part of a polygamous family. But Mary, I don't think you've been a part of a polygamous family for years. She talks about how her and Jen have a good time, and at one point she was able to do that with all of her sister wives. Maybe not so much Janelle, because they had moments, not many moments, where they were laughing and stuff with each other, but she had good relationships with the other wives. I find it interesting that her and Christine have such a different view of this, because Christine has no desire to have a relationship with Mary. So I want to know what else happened that Christine feels this way. We hear about how it's not healthy to have a favorite wife in polygamy from all the wives, but we clearly know that Kody had a favorite wife. Kody then, in response to us, lets us know that if in polygamy a man has a favorite wife, it's because he feels that she's loyal to him. If you don't feel loyalty from a wife, then she's gonna struggle. There you have it right there, people. Robyn is Kody's favorite wife, and as a result, he treated her differently, and they didn't have certain struggles, because he has put it out there on many occasions that Robyn is loyal. Janelle points out how most men obviously fail at this, and they do end up having a favorite wife. Okay, y'all, this is where I gotta breathe. We go back to Garrison's house, and Gabe walks in, and as he walks in, Christine greets him. Hey, baby. She's so excited to see him. But Christine was not meant for polygamy. Meanwhile, she's extremely excited to see a child that is not biologically hers. Janelle asks about Truly, and Christine lets us know that even though Kody didn't ask for her, because he normally doesn't see her, and she wanted them to be able to talk without having to, worry about Truly, she asked if he could babysit. So this is the man that supposedly was so distraught by Christine taking Truly to another state. But he doesn't even take time out to see Truly when she's in the area. He has to be asked to see his child. TLC, kick him off the show. He's a deadbeat, and I'm tired of us, the viewers, putting money in Kody and Robyn's pockets. Seriously. He then asked if Truly could just spend the night, and Christine said sure. She let us know that Truly was very excited, and Truly still thinks that they have a great relationship. I believe that when all of these children were younger, that they all felt like they had great relationships with their father. But there's something that happens with a child. I can't pinpoint what age it is. I know what age it was when it happened with my son, where there's this little switch that goes off that allows them to see their parents for exactly who they are, to the point where it's like the light is on, the blinders are up. This is what it is. The switch goes on with these kids that are dealing with absentee fathers. And when they do realize what they're dealing with, it hurts them. I hope that when the switch comes on for Truly, that it doesn't hurt her the way it's hurt her siblings. Christine says that the best way for her to save the relationship with Truly and Kody was to move Truly away. She says she knows it doesn't sound right. She knows it doesn't sound right, but she feels like she preserved their relationship. Kody feels like it's BS, and I have to admit, I thought so too when she first said it as she was saying it, but then I thought about it. For Christine, it was easier for her to move her child away and not have her father see her than for her father to be a few minutes down the road and for him to not see her. It's easier to explain it when you're 5 hours apart versus when you're a couple minutes apart. So I think that's what Christine meant. Y'all let me know what you thought she meant down below. When asked if they've seen him, Gabe smiles and says he remembers his father saying something along the lines of, he only cares about his minor children. This is from the same man who in season 2 told Leon that it is his responsibility as a parent to take care of his children until they are graduated or they're married. But now it's only your responsibility to take care of your minor children. Janelle lets us know that she's observed Kody having trouble relating to his older children, and he seems to dote on the younger children. She says now that they got older and they question things, it might be a bit harder for Kody. No. Janelle, we are not going to sit here and say that it seems like Kody dotes on the younger children. We're not. Because it's obvious that Kody dotes on the younger children, who at this point just happen to be Robyn's children. Truly isn't included in that, even though Truly is a part of the younger children. It's just Robyn's children. Remember, okay? Remember when the younger children, Ariella and Solomon, couldn't be away from Kody for more than 2 nights. Remember, that's what he said. He can't be away from his younger children for more than 2 nights. But when Truly was younger, Kody was away from Truly for 11 days. So he could go to his honeymoon with Robyn in California and surf and do all that other stuff. The trouble for these relationships came when Kody's children began having opinions of their own. and he was no longer the center of their universe. Kody's ego could not handle it at all. Kody likes to feel wanted and needed. And Robyn has picked up on this from day one, and she used it to her benefit. And she taught her children to be that way as well. As a result, Robyn's children will always have a place in Kody's heart. But the other ones, who their mothers taught them to be independent and free thinking, they won't have a place in Kody's heart because Kody doesn't like independence. We then get Robyn telling us that throughout COVID, that Kody's relationship with his children, his older children, remained intact. It wasn't until Christine left that everything changed. Why in the hell does Robyn and Kody continue to think that they can keep rewriting history like we, the viewers, do not remember what we've seen, like we didn't witness firsthand through the camera that was in their face all the types of things that was being said and done before Christine left? Robyn has been the problem from day one, and the way that she has managed to sit in confessionals and lie like that and say that there weren't any problems until Christine left is extremely concerning to me. The final straw, in my opinion, for Gabe probably was when his father forgot his birthday. For Garrison, maybe when Kody continued to take the side of his wife rather than hear out his son. For Maddie, maybe it was when Kody wasn't willing to come to see her child who had to get a limb amputated and called it a vacation when her mom came. But that same man who couldn't come and see his grandchild who had an amputated limb could go to a wedding, dance around without a mask, and serve as the officiant. Maybe for some of Christine's children, maybe the final straw for them came when they saw their sister was having an extremely serious surgery that involved her spine. And Kody couldn't go away because he couldn't be away from his younger kids that long. But this pinched face, Nike, eyebrow having, non-sobbing bird wants to blame it on Christine? Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down. I gotta calm down, y'all. I'm getting mad. Take a sip of water, take a sip of wine. I knew I was gonna get upset with this. I didn't even write that down. That was good. I need to write down. Whew. Christine points out, no, not Christine. See, I'm so upset. I'm not even reading right. Garrison points out that since he last talked to his father, he's bought a house, he's got into school, and he's bought the car that his father told him not to get. And his father doesn't even know anything about it. So once again, Robyn and crew expect us to believe that Kody is this great father. No, he is not. Kody in confessional claims that he reached out to Garrison and Gabrielle before Christmas and right after, and they're blocking him. Much like Kody blocked them out their lives. They weren't even welcomed into Kody's favorite wife's home for the holidays. Remember, she thought it was unsafe. And then Kody wasn't willing to see them at the rental. But we're supposed to believe that you've made efforts to talk to them. And then what makes it worse is they all live in Flagstaff. Gwendolyn finally arrives, and we hear about this text message that happened with the family that mainly went wrong because of Robyn. They were discussing Secret Santa, and Robyn suggested that they do it over Zoom so that they could see each other. Because according to Robyn, Ariella is forgetting who her siblings are. Now, we know that that part of Robyn saying that Ariella is forgetting her siblings is true, because when it was her birthday and all the family came over, she could not remember her siblings' names. But that is Robyn and Kody's fault, because it doesn't take anything for you to do like what Robyn did in season 1, where she took the picture and she said, Mama Mary, Mama Janelle, Mama Christine, and Daddy, when pointing to Kody. Why couldn't you do that with that big family picture that you have, and remind her of who her siblings are? Why couldn't you pick up the phone and call on video call? Because you don't have that type of relationship with them, and it's your fault. Garrison lets us know that they've done the gift exchange for 20 years. And we know the gift exchange is where they pick a name out of a hat and then they're responsible to get one gift for that person. We heard Peyton say that the text message thread was started by Logan. In McKelty's Patreon, she says it's her. Here, Christine says that it was Aspen. So one of them sent a text saying it's time to do the gift exchange. Don't know who, don't know why, whatever. It was one of Christine's kids. Everyone was giving suggestions on how to make it more personal. And Robyn decided, according to Gwen, to make it about herself and want to talk about her past trauma. Robyn has done such a great job at playing victim that now she's created little mini victims, and those mini victims are her children. Gwen wants to know where the trauma from them is coming from, because their father prefers them. So how is it that you're experiencing trauma when you've always had him and we're the ones who haven't? I'll let Gwen know where it's coming from. It's coming from thin air. In confessionals, Robyn says from her perspective, Kody didn't choose them. Her kids and her wanted to be a part of the family, and they wanted to be loved and accepted by everyone. I don't give 3 poop emojis. Y'all know what I mean by poop emojis. I don't give 3 poop emojis. What Robyn is saying. The family, even though they may have been apprehensive, at some points accepted her. They took her bills. They took her debt. They moved her, even though she wasn't finished packing. They took her kids. They got divorced, married for her. They adopted her children. They did all of this, even though Robyn was adding nothing, because Robyn never worked. According to Robyn, she didn't get a lot of support from the other parents with the blending of the family. That's a lie. She says that it took about 10 years for them to get it together, which is a lie. Then COVID came and they started getting excluded again. They weren't a part of the group. In my opinion, Kody and Robyn chose this. Robyn chose to exclude her family because she did not want her kids doing things that did not follow the rules that her and Kody came up with. And I'm saying her and Kody came up with because whether or not Kody tries to tell us 50 million times that he came up with the rules, he obviously didn't, because he wasn't as severe with enforcing them or following them as Robyn was. And he seemed to forget a lot of things when Robyn wasn't around. Robyn then texts them in this thread that they didn't respect her as a mother and some other things. And then we hear from Aurora. Before I go into what Aurora said, one thing that I noticed is that these 2 children are very timid, very soft-spoken, very docile when they're speaking in confessionals. I don't know if it's something that they've learned from their mother, or if this is their way of making us feel sorry for them, but it's pissing me off because I know that they're like this because of what their mom has done, because of the way their mom has made them. According to Aurora, before the text about the gift exchange, they had learned some very strong negative feelings about them coming from the siblings and the family. They also learned that the family planned on having Christmas without them. So this is the crap I'm talking about. Who told you that the family was saying negative things about you all when y'all weren't talking to anyone? First question. Second statement is, so you mean to tell me that Janelle sitting outside multiple times asking what you're going to do as a family for Christmas and how you're going to get together and if y'all can work it out, and even offering to invite Kody to come over to the rental since he said that the boys weren't allowed in his home, that Kody and Robyn lied to these kids and told them that they weren't invited to Christmas? And we don't see why there continues to be issues? Brianna says she's hurt and confused. Robyn says she felt very defeated because in the text, she was getting so much attitude. She felt like her and her family were being voted from Brown Island. We find out from Gwen that she told Mykelti and Logan to tell them that she was not going to participate in the gift exchange. I said it before that I don't like how Mykelti plays the middle, but Christine seems to be okay with it, so I'm going to leave it alone. Christine says after all of this that there was clearly a line that was drawn. Garrison says Robyn has done many things. I'm not going to go on all the things that he said, but he basically said that she's ostracized herself. She plays the victim. She does manipulative things. She's just vile. Kody, of course, defends her and acts like he made the COVID rules. Gabe says that she has been gaslighting everyone and making herself the victim. Garrison feels like she's the catalyst of everything that has gone wrong, especially using COVID to have Kody to himself. Once Christine decided to divorce him and his mom decided to separate from him, that she could no longer use them as the victim, and as a result, she gave up. This is why Robyn doesn't like these children, because these children have seen her exactly for who she is, and I believe they saw it early on. Kody lets us know that all of them are jerks and he doesn't want to be around them. He's tired of it. He doesn't want to call them and he doesn't want to talk to them. What happened to him saying that he was calling them and they weren't answering? Kody is full of crap because he doesn't care about his children. And he sits there in confession, speaking so ill of his kids just because they don't agree with the way that they've been treated. He's mad because they've hurt his precious Robyn. But he doesn't care about how the way that he's acted and Robyn has acted has hurt them. Garrison says that he no longer desires to talk to Robyn and she could have his father. That at this point, they're all grown adults and they don't need a father. Now, that part had me in my feels. It doesn't matter if his statement is factual or not. The point that he made this statement means that he has been so hurt by his father that he said this. In my opinion, where there is anger now, there was hurt in the beginning. Garrison says, we don't care anymore. And Gwen says, I like to say that, but it still hurts. With all the neglect that Kody has shown them, these children still try not to step too hard on his toes. I believe that they're still holding back and they're still protecting him in some ways, because I know that there's a lot more that Gwen wants to say, but Gwen has figured out very early on with this whole separation thing, that especially with what's happened with her brothers, that if she speaks too ill of Robyn, that she's going to be completely cut off from her father. And I think that she takes him in any way she can get him. These young adults are hurting. You can see it all in their eyes. This man, for so many years, was their part-time, in my opinion, superhero. And now I feel like he's one of the villains in their story. Christine says every kid needs a dad, and that she's so sorry that they're going through this, and she wishes that it could have been better. Gwen says, who needs a dad when you have two moms? They point out that, what is this? Oh, Christine is saying that, they're partially to blame. Maybe they didn't merge the family well, that at one point she was accused of being a bully by Kody. Kody says he never called her a bully. He just said that she trash talked Mary and Janelle. That's not all that Kody said. Kody said that he didn't treat her sister wives good, and Robyn was definitely one of those wives. So for him to try to act like it's just Mary and Janelle is him trying to take the focus off of Robyn. And honestly, Christine wasn't the only one. All the wives at one point complained to Kody, because even Robyn said she realized early on that Kody didn't like when you complained about one of his wives, and she never did it again. Garrison says, as well as the siblings, that they want a relationship with some of the kids, but they don't want one with Robyn. They feel like if they do try to sit down and talk to Robyn, that she'll try to manipulate them or start crying. That the truth at this point has been revealed and they're done. Robyn says no matter what she does, they'll never see her as anything other than a bad guy. I can tell you what else they would see you as, Robyn. Because I know what I see you as, and it's a whole bunch of four-letter words that I try not to say. Gabe says he sees Aurora at school and that they hug each other, and that she's the only one from the family, from that side of the family, that has said, I love you. While Aurora is in confession, she says it, that they hug and say, I love you, and Brianna looks shocked. But Aurora points out that Gabe has been nothing but kind to her. So does Robyn want to try again with how badly her kids are being treated? We have Aurora here saying that her brother always has treated her kindly. Kody lets us know that Christine has terrible karma coming her way because she's been feeding the, what did he say, feeding? Fueling, fanning, whatever. He was fanning the flames. She's fanning the flames in a civil war. Some people may question Christine's intentions, but I think that Christine is just trying to provide an outlet for her children to express themselves. The only thing that may cause this to be an issue is because it's being televised. Because if I were in this situation and if I knew that my son was having a problem with his dad, I would sit down and would talk to him in the same demeanor that Christine is. What, they're not supposed to say how they feel? That doesn't make sense. Gwen doesn't feel like Kody loves her, and Savannah tells her that Kody loves her. Kody doesn't even bother responding to that. Instead, in his confessional, he says that every trash talk, every crappy thing that they've said about him, he feels the same way about them. And at the end of the day, even though most of them are adults, in my opinion, they are children, his children. And the fact that this is what he has to say about them, this family is done. It's done. Garrison said, we are always going to welcome them, Robyn's family, to the gift exchange, but he's not going to chase them. Christine says, all of this is a lot, and going back to Flagstaff isn't just about visiting the family, but it's really about talking about some of the hardest times in her life. She's hoping that this conversation has allowed them to feel a burden lifted. It's going to take a lot more than that, Christine. I get what you're trying to do, but if anything, you left them more raw. This is coming from someone who did several years of therapy. You left them more raw, because one of the things that happens when you put out this level of emotion is that sometimes you don't know what to do with some of what you've released once you've released it. And I think that these young adults need coping mechanisms and outlets, and somebody professional to talk to, not Nancy, someone completely different where they can express themselves, because there's a lot with this. We then see that Mykelti brought Avalon into town to have a birthday celebration with Kody, Robyn, and their kids. As always, Mykelti overextends herself to Kody and Robyn because Mykelti lives in Utah. Her sister Truly also lives in Utah. Her sister Aspen lives in Utah. I believe Hunter lives in Utah. I can't remember. Either way, you mean to tell me that you drove to Utah to have this birthday celebration with Kody, but Kody and Robyn and crew couldn't come to Utah to have the celebration or to see your sister? Robyn has even an entire photo booth set up with a chair and all of that, but y'all don't have a space for Truly to sleep when she comes over? We hear that he loves that Mykelti and Tony are still there and they still have a relationship, that Tony and Robyn are close and they get each other. He said that Mykelti and Robyn had a very close relationship growing up. And I feel like one of the reasons why they had a close relationship is because they used Mykelti often for childcare for Robyn. She was a babysitter for her children. Kody can spin it any way he wants to, and Christine can give credit where she wants to. I don't see it like that. Kody lets us know that Robyn offered a lot of help because she was there. It helped and it benefited Christine because it helped with the wedge that was happening. If you ask me, it created a further wedge. Mykelti has already let us know that one of the ways when she was younger that she acted out was by doing things that would make her parents upset. She would dress to show more skin and do things that would get under her mother's skin. And I still believe that she thought that forming the bond with Robyn would get under her mother's skin. This is the same girl that was told not to get on a horse that wasn't trained, and she did it just to prove everybody wrong. So I firmly believe that she did this to make her mom mad too. According to Christine, Robyn, when she came into the family, saw that Mykelti didn't get along with a lot of her older siblings, and as a result, she pulled her in and they formed their own bond. I'm not giving Robyn that credit that Christine is. Christine is a much better person than me. Christine lets us know that Robyn will always be a part of Mykelti's life. Christine takes Janelle out to meet some of her friends and to celebrate her ex anniversary and the divorce anniversary. She met these ladies through Isabel, and they're in all different stages of marriage. So some have been married for many, many years. Some are newly married. Some are divorced and married, and some are just recently divorced. Kody calls while she's out and she doesn't answer the phone, and he lets us know that he was calling because he wanted to see if Truly was available. I want to know who told him Christine was in town, because Christine always seems to be having to make special arrangements with him. Why doesn't he ever try to make arrangements with her prior to her even coming into town? Christine lets us know that she knew a year before her anniversary that she was done, but it was hard for her to leave her marriage. She says that if you're thinking about divorce, stop pretending to be happy, stop being miserable, and get the divorce. When asked how Janelle feels about hearing the things that Christine is saying about Kody. Janelle lets us and the ladies know that she has no obligation or feels anything to him right now, so it doesn't bother her. Well, she didn't say that part about she feels no obligation in front of the ladies. She said that in confessional, but she did let us know she feels no obligation. Christine's like, she knows I've been talking to Janelle about this for years, so I wonder how much of what she told Janelle that Janelle relayed back to Kody. The ladies want to know if Janelle and Kody are good. Janelle says that they have some struggles because she doesn't feel like she should be disclosing all of her information the first time she's meeting them. I can completely understand that, and I agree. They talk about how Christine and Janelle want a house together, a place that could be something like what they had in Lehigh. Of course, a much smaller version, but just a central place where all the kids can come and see them so they don't have to go to all these different places. She gets a gift from her friend saying, smash the patriarchy cut, which one, is this something that Christine has talked to you about, or are y'all fans of the show? I'm confused about that. They ask about Mary and Robyn. They find out that Mary lives in town where Robyn lives, close to Coyote Pass, that Mary hasn't left. And Janelle explains that plural marriage is kind of good because you can still be connected to the family and live separate lives. That makes no sense to me. Is that why Janelle is saying that she's separated instead of divorced? Because with polygamy, they feel like they're still married. They talk about how things used to be, how things used to go in a rotation, and that once they came to Flagstaff, the rotation kind of stopped, and he mainly was at Robyn's house. Christine talks about how polygamy is no longer a felon, and that it's important to know, according to Janelle, that divorce happens to all facets and to all people, both monogamous and people who practice polygamy. That it's not just a thing with polygamy. We all know that, but I still want to know if the divorce rates in polygamy are higher. Christine says that, in her opinion, Kody hasn't been the greatest dad to her kids. Kody says that Christine basically forced herself into his life and he doesn't care if she's leaving. So if he really felt this way, then why did he give us, Janelle, Robyn, Suki, the excuse that he's been grieving and mourning the loss of this relationship? Why did he try to convince her to stay? He then claims it hurt initially, but now he's fine. He just wants her to stop talking to his children. I have mixed feelings about this because I don't think that she's just trash talking you to your kids. I do feel like she's having certain conversations with Kody that require her to be honest about her truths. And I feel like Kody has done the same. He's trash talked their moms. That season, well, that episode called the Teflon Queen, that was him trash talking Janelle. So we're not going to sit here and act like he hasn't done trash talk as well. We've seen him do it multiple times with everyone, with the exception of Robyn. So why is everyone expected to have some type of loyalty to him and not talk about the things that he's done? We hear again about how Kody said he didn't want to have a physical relationship with Christine, and how once that night that she told him she no longer wants him in her bedroom, how empowered and free she felt. She admits that even though she's really happy, that she's still a little jaded. She wishes that when Kody found the love of his life, which was Robyn, that he was just honest about his feelings and that they could have went from there. I do agree. He should have been honest. Christine says that they went public to show all the good and the good parts of polygamy rather than the bad, and that through the years they've managed just to show a divorce and a fractured family. And that is very true. You guys, this episode was very hard for me to take notes on because I was getting so frustrated, and the things that Garrison was saying was spot on, but it was way too much to write. So if you do not watch the episodes and you just listen to me, I suggest that you go and watch the episode, because when I say he was on point, he was on point. So much so that I feel like I might break it down more in a separate video. I'm not sure, because he raised some very good points that we all have been thinking and we all have been saying. And at one point, all the teens pointed out the things that they noticed that Robyn has done over the years that apparently Kody has not. It is baffling to me that Kody does not understand how much he's devastated his children, and that he's okay with not speaking to them, and he's okay with eliminating them from his life, all because they don't agree with him. Kody is a tyrant. And I really, as I said earlier in the video, I really, really, really want TLC to get rid of him. I am at, the last time I checked, we're just going to say 300 plus subscribers. I thank you all so much. It means so much to me. I was extremely excited. I asked for one number, you gave me another. So my new number that I'm pushing is 400. My goal is to eventually be in a space where this can be monetized. And one of the things that I need is to have at least 1,000 subscribers along with viewing hours. I'm getting the viewing hours, but I also need the subscribers. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. What you waiting for? Like, comment down below. I want to know. What do I want to know? No, we'll save that for another video. I hate when people do that. I hate when people say something and they don't say what it is. Okay, here's my question. Let me know down below who is more to blame for the separation of this family, okay? Is it Kody or Robyn, and why? Because I'm interested in seeing who we think is more to blame. Until next time.